Good evening, everyone. Welcome to an improved Monza without the turn 1 problem. There has been a fix in LMU. The issues with the crashing in T1 have been moved to turn 3. So let's see how that goes. Anyway, look at that number, like almost 500 people, but also this is like, it doesn't update. When I joined it was 474, so I guess it's even more people now. Anyway, let's join the server and see how many splits we are getting these days. And let's figure out where is my chat. That's not the chat. This is the chat. Good evening, Mario. Hello, Alex. I think everything should be working. FFB on. 38 splits. Wait, 38 times 12. Sorry, times 20. I mean, that's almost 800 people. That's absolutely insane. So good to see. Hello, Demetrius. Anyway, a bit less fuel. And let's just go out and see what happens. Did I... Of course. I forgot to put my graphics to acceptable values for streaming. Low and lowish. Let's rejoin. How did I do that? Like I drive a bit, I did like 5 laps before, then I go offline, put the graphics to max, load replay, make a screenshot for the stream thumbnail, and then I put everything back to low so I can stream and drive, right? Well, turns out I many times forget to do it. Hi Joao. Hi Liminal Thoughts. Well, this is gonna be a fun one for sure. I don't think I have ever raced at Monza without the first chicane. Well, as if the frame rate is any better now with loaded with low details. I mean, it was like, okay, I mean, it's better. 120, 130 in these conditions. It was like 80 before. Tires are cold. Right. I tend to have issues with alternate layouts. I hope I will never break for first chicane here. I was already getting ready to smash the brake pedal, but well, we are not gonna do that today. A bit less TC and a bit less ABS. And the Ford should be quite alright around here. It's quite good on top speed, even though I think this default setup has rear wing 4. I drove, was it 2 at Spa? Potentially it was 2, so this is higher downforce than Spa. Anyway, just gonna drive. Probably fuel is fine, if not too big. I practiced with ABS 5 and it was actually really nice, like, I don't know. Was thinking of the brake pedal again. But I guess this one should be a bit more straightforward to learn compared to Fuji. Because Fuji without the chicane is still a corner, but it's just more opened. Here there is actually no corner, so it's a bigger change. It is 20 people per split in beginner races, right? I think, yeah, 20 or 25? I think it's 20. Either way, 38 splits. Could you imagine? That's 38 separate servers working fine without a problem for now. Well, forever hopefully. The track limit copy. And the lap times are still kind of slow, I think like 140s. Even without the chicane. I guess the chicane adds like, what, 10 seconds? Alex, oh yes. Oh, my it disappeared, what is it called, the speedo. It keeps resetting. It keeps resetting itself. I will go to settings later. I mean, I don't really need it, except for the damage and so on. Well, Daniela, I think that WEC experience is quite nice. And then the advanced... I don't know. The advanced has this nice 1 hour sprints, but it kind of is the same idea as the special events or the weekly events. And then there are championships, so... hard to decide. Even my delta is gone. There is one setting in the gameplay which kind of disables almost everything, even if you have everything turned on. So actually I have to keep driving without delta, without knowing the lap times. Well, I will know the lap time, right? 140.7, okay. Good evening, Fabio and Christ. Excuse me. Daniela, I think that's a good idea, to be honest. And rename beginner and intermediate into something else. It doesn't sound correct to me. It never did. This setup is pretty nice, to be honest. It's not understeery like normal fixed setups are. Turns pretty nicely everywhere. And I do get a bit bigger snaps because I put ABS to 5, but I like the feeling. Well, I hope that's a decent lap time improvement. Should have 2 more attempts. Okay. Is the BMW fast here or what? I saw it being first in the leaderboard as well. Didn't really ever think that a track like this would be good for BMW. Although, remove one traction zone and BMW will of course like it. That's the first setup in fixed Le Mans Ultimate race where I don't get deadly understeer on power. Really good. I messed up Lasma 1 a bit. Missing Delta is so weird. Have to turn it back on. Mustn't forget about it. Too early on brakes. M4 is a rocket on straights, interesting. So I only proved by a 10th. Well, last attempt. No. Ah. Oh well. I'm gonna use it for practice. Oh, we get sectors there as well. Never really looked at that HUD page. Or maybe ABS 5 is too little. Maybe like 7 is better. Maybe that's a bit more stable on brakes. I mean, P3 is alright on this track, right? You don't really want to be on pole here, do you? Let's see. Braking at that black box on the left between the last two brake markers is actually a better braking point. Anyway, let's quickly go to garage and go to settings and to gameplay and find this HUD enabled. It keeps resetting to full and the apply is like grayed out. I don't know what's going on there. I did report it already. Okay. Hello, Ayus. Yeah, I mean 39.9 should be doable for sure. I mean, probably with some esports we would be doing 38 after 300 attempts. I have to double check if everything is fine fuel-wise. 3.2, let's say. 13 laps times 3.2. Okay, well, that's a lot of fuel actually. I mean, okay, we are flat out a lot. That's quite a bit of an overfuel, but should be fine. What did I say? 7 ABS? Looks fine. Actually, brake bias on this car is quite rearwards. At Spa, I think that was the first car where I had to put it at Spa or anywhere front instead of rear from the default. Hi Pedro. 12 laps, okay, well. Maybe everybody gains a lot of lap time for no reason. Maybe we are slipstreaming so efficiently that we get extra lap. G-Sync works today for some reason. Nice. But my rear view is squashed again. I misjudged that one. Don't dive me, please. Feels like the red BMW would have tried to get ahead, whatever I did. That gap opened up so crazy high, or like crazy fast. Catching the leader, nice. Pretend they're Trans Am cars. I mean, it kind of feels like that. It moves around a lot. Couldn't see the track. That iRacing layout is interesting when they even skip the second chicane. The slipstream. This is barely flat out at this point. Need to work together with him for now. What a beautiful line from him. Didn't block me. And we are now even closer to the leaders. Not sure at what point to go for it. I'm too far. And the leader is finding some pace. Will be hard to catch him. I mean, if BMW has the same top speed as the Mustang, then that's quite a problem, because BMW has quite good front downforce, probably significantly better than the Mustang, so not easy to follow in the corners. The Daytona road course, oh well, that would be brilliant in LMU. So hard to avoid cutting now that the first apex of Ascari has removed those anti-cuts. They were quite a nice reference for some years. And this is tricky, the BMW head constantly has slipstream himself. I got ABS. Yeah, that's a great question, Timo. I mean, on fixed setups you can do a lot. Imagine Mustang on minimum rear wing here. Now it's got like mid downforce. Gravel OP. Hi Dan and bye. Thank you. That was a good lap now. People ahead constantly cut. At some point they surely have to start getting scared of penalty. Ooh, is that an overtake? I mean, that feels like a P3 battle now. Not sure if any chance against P1, P2 BMWs. Hi Simbego. Well, it's going quick. I love these tracks with high top speeds. Good to skip a chicane now and then. That's a track limit. Okay. Well, not many more remaining. Oops. I bump drafted him. Now I'm too close to get any overspeed. No track limit. Okay, 0.25. Three to go, right? Well, Wians, for me this is, as I said before, the most neutral fixed set I have ever driven. So that's, yeah, especially on exits, quite balanced. I've driven much more understeer setups in the past. Ah, that's the worst now. Ah, the Ford doesn't like that anti-cut or something. Wouldn't get a proper switchback. And now I'm scared for the cuts. I'm gonna do another one of these races in 1 hour. Guess I'm gonna try the BMW then. A beautiful four-wheel drift. I really did not imagine that it's gonna be this hard to overtake around here, although, well, I haven't had the car ahead me without the draft. Hi Charlie. Hitting that apex curb is not good. It feels like it opens up the corner, but the exit is always worse, I think. Although this, if it works, then it should work with this car because it loves eating curbs if they're not too high. Great question, Hyper. Not decided yet. We'll have to do another one of these races. Well, 34 tenths gap. That's a chance if I ever had one. It's difficult to go side by side through Curva Grande. Let me straighten you back. I mean, he didn't leave any space and I was alongside, so in real life, penalty for me. But by some logic, we were side by side, so space would have to be given anyway. Very difficult to overtake. P4 it will have to be. Well, sorry for the contact. Well, I guess that was as clean as it gets in the sprint races for a last lap battle. Ooh, I was on the wrong side, but yeah, again, it's so easy to then like park on the left side, defend inside for the second chicane, and just push out anybody. He apologizes. I mean, you can look again. Hi Marvin. Hi Christian. Yeah, it was fun, but yeah, I mean, at this point, like, you are trying really, like, you're going on the limit of grip because you're like in dirty air and much faster than normally, so it's not really possible to just switch lanes and go on the left because you're just gonna understeer into the gravel. So you have to be kind of in the middle of the road before already, but the car ahead can just easily defend the left. So I just instinctively went for the shortest route and hoped for overspeed, but that BMW is going so fast. And then, okay, I mean, chicanes kind of deserve their own rule set for side-by-side racing, right? I mean, nose at apex in some FIA event, or like in all FIA events, is the rule. In many sim racing leagues, the rule is to have front axle alongside the rear, or like ahead of rear axle. So if I was making rules, then at this point we have a battle, so every car has to make space for another car. But I know that in real life they prefer the, well, squeeze out if you have 1 nanometer of advantage. Anyway, I helped him go straight. I let him back through, so it's alright, I guess, in the end. I mean, he did push me off track, but then again, in F1 they would say that he had the racing line, whatever that means, like what. F1 rules, again, in my opinion, are worse than many sim racing rule books, the way they apply them. Less professional, more like a show or a circus. I mean, makes sense, right? more unpredictable with the outcomes, more crashes, more drama. Just gonna check what I did wrong at the start, because that start was not good. I mean, I was too far behind. And then the Mustang was able to slot in between, which was the first deadly thing for me. And then of course trying to go around the right side. And then I want to turn in, but I can't because I see... Yep, where are you button? I see a little of overlap, and then if I turn in... I mean, he was about to give me space, but I got scared. So I jumped through that. Just avoiding that anti-cut really gives... Okay, that was a late defense from me. But he got the line. And then the other Mustang almost got through. Okay, well, I think that was it, right? Now let's hope I didn't lose rating. That's acceptable. Had that many contacts. Alright. Okay, well, for next one I'm gonna take the BMW, but before the next one we have... Why does the online button not work in a way that I would just click it and go straight to default online? That would be good. What's the other combination? Ah, it's the GTEs. GTE at Bahrain Outer. Leaderboard top 10er Porsche. Does that mean something? I don't think that's a BOP, a realistic BOP gap, to be honest. I know that in the past the Porsche was good around here. What should I take? I kind of want to take the Porsche to drive a bit of a Porsche, because I'm not gonna drive the GT3 one, as it's broken. Oh, and the color scheme works with my buttons. Let's register that one. Can I have any meaningful practice in 3 minutes? I'm gonna just be loading cars. Well, let's try. Wait. Why is the track map the full layout? Alexification. For me, the GT3 Porsche, what's broken on it is that the front basically has no grip, so what you have to do constantly is to constantly slide the rear even more than all the other cars. And the problem is that then the rear goes to like 120 Celsius. It's so easy to overdo it. And you have to overdo it a little bit all the time to have the rotation. But yeah, I read some discussion that it's not even the tire model problem, but that it could be just the Porsche suspension or like aero or like some geometry problem. It's not really driving how it should be driving. It's way too drifty. Way too drifty. Even the Porsche Cup car, which has like no front downforce and a big rear wing, even that one should be less aggressive than this. And now instead of doing laps, I'm sitting in the garage, right? But the GTE Porsche is good. Let's see if there is still that bug. If I skip the chicane, or like turn 1. It's a green track limit. They still have it, yeah. I will try not... I mean, there is no pits anyway in these races, so... no ABS. Let's not... so it is full layout. It's not the outer. Copy. Well then, we'll be doing the hairpins. It's so much nicer to drive cars without ABS. I don't know. I am just so useless when it comes to the feeling of the left foot. ABS is enabled. That's a good question, but I don't know. I guess the question is then if WEC has any actual like support events. I've never really been to a WEC event. I mean, there are some support events, but not sure if they have any collaboration. It really depends on what the contracts are, like how they have signed it between ACO, the Le Mans 24 organizer, and Motorsports Games and everybody else. Because it does say it's the official game of World Endurance Championship, so yeah. Anyway, it's time. Kind of would prefer to do the Bahrain outer, even though that chicane is a bit silly with track limits. And I would need less laps to get quick, less corners. Still the wet bug. If I remember correctly, we have to move the brake bias to the rear here, and that quite significantly. Let me actually... Where is my tiny pedal? Config, unison symbols. I'm gonna update my tiny pedal at some point. I'm too lazy to do it. And then all the compounds will work properly. They do have historic races, yeah. Although, yeah, again, not sure how exactly it's scheduled and who organizes what and who is affiliated with whom. I mean, again, I would prefer a 2000 Dodge Viper V10 to a Porsche Cup car any time of day, so if they make like a historic Cup or like historic DLC, I'm already in the customer base, so ready to pay them now if I know I'm gonna drive it in 1 year. So weird to drive the new tires and then switch to the old tire, and it kind of doesn't feel too much different, but it's significantly different. But actually, for sure, I can feel a bit less of front. Although, well, I just went from Mustang, which has a lot of weight on the front, to a Porsche, which has very little, so hard to know what exactly causes it. Math ain't mathing. If you mean the overlay, yeah, I mean, overlay is made for... Wait, do I have a preset for GT? Let's see if this works. I guess something like this. Well, I don't need the energy. What's this brake wear? The steering wheel. I'm just gonna put it all to the left side. I wish LMU had the same mouse cursor as iRacing, so that it appears if you move the mouse, but it disappears after 3 seconds. Here you have to keep pressing the Del button or whatever you have assigned to hide the mouse. Ah, the way I feel about the tires. Yeah. I mean... I guess in real life, if you switch between cars in the same day, you get quite confused as well, but in the sim you kind of feel even less than in actual real life cars, so... And then have tires that are kind of same, but not really... not easy to readjust quickly. But if there is a sim that allows you to readjust to different cars and different tires, it's LMU or, well, RF2. In iRacing, if that happened, I would now be completely lost. Would have to do 100 more laps to relearn what inputs and what lines I can take. Sorry, I keep speaking bad about iRacing. But I mean... I will start speaking good when they fix their tires. They have some big update coming, I saw, for the hypercars, so that they won't be going 10 seconds per lap too quick anymore. Looking forward to trying that. Anyway, let's try to do some qualifying here. RF2 is only mostly dead. Yeah, copy. Two-door, thank you. Okay, Monza was a good one, but I'll do another one after this. I just find it so much easier to feel the entry into hairpins without ABS. Is that how it should be? I mean, this Porsche kind of has to be a bit sideways as well into some corners, not to fully load the fronts, but I think it's much more balanced than the GT3. And as I said that, I go into a full drift into the last corner. Maybe let's put the brake bias a bit to the front anyway. Yeah, RF2 actually got an update. the liveries, right? For Formula E cars. This car makes me want to load GT3, turn off ABS and just get used to the grip. Much nicer lap indeed. Not gonna be enough for pole. Despite two purples. Even a small lockup feels less severe than a little bit of ABS kicking in. Looking good. Is that the pole position? 3.22 used. Top 5 Porsche. Is that finally Irene on pole position? Cannot believe it. Okay. Oh, William, you joined at the correct time. Think I'm still doing a bit of iRacing braking here. So 20 times 60 divided by what are we gonna be doing? 1/17, 1/18, 117.5. I'm gonna be 11 laps. Times 3.22. 36 should be fine. Let's take 37 and a bit more TC. I think it's not really kicking in much. Should make a poll where I'm gonna end up after turn 2. Hi Charlie. Well, doing good on this side. Except for missing out just about on a podium at Monza. But that's fine. Gonna get it after this round. RF3 when? Lavana's... Well, you tell me. I mean, what we can learn from the sim racing side of things. Assetto Corsa launched in 2012? 13? 14? 13, I think. ACC launched in... I don't even know when. And then it took extra 5 years-ish for AC Evo to get somewhere, 6, 7, so... If LMU launched... What are people behind doing? If LMU launched in 24, then maybe RF3 could be going... would be coming in 2030. I don't know. The best guess I can make. Ah, green. I always forget that the green at Bahrain is so early. Four wide, 5 wide, let's go. Oof, lead defended for now. Great racing with Banegas. Was wondering if he was gonna dive into that hairpin, but he backed out. That must have been like 4th time in LMU that I messed up the start, like sleeping. That's not an usual place to go for an overtake. All going wide. It's funny when you brake later than what you are comfortable with and you are sure you're gonna miss the apex a bit, but others just brake 5 meters later and then you just know that nobody's making it. Was that the fellow light blue Porsche spinning around there in the mirror? Alright, finally some gap. That lap 1 or lap 2 sector 2 was horrendous. I mean, this was lap 2. Lap 1 sector 2 was horrendous. I don't know, that uphill S, the left right, is just so tricky with Porsche for me. I'm used to like from the years in the past from driving F1 cars through there, and that's easy flat with big front wing. And there's not much of comparison or like similarity between Porsche and F1. Thank you, Tudor. Well, if this was a Porsche GT3, then my fronts would be 76 and the rears would be 176 at this point. I will really I will make a petition to ban ABS from GT3s. Or I will spam Devin, the Studio 397 dev, to make ABS a bit more logical. I don't know. I really can, I can go deeper on the brakes without ABS. Just feels so much controllable. Always when I say something good, I lock up the front or the rear in the next corner, right? I mean, if I had ABS on, I would be just smashing the brake because of wrong muscle memory and just going even more straight. Yeah, two-door, I have the same problem actually with RF2 GT3s and ABS, and from my brief experience with iRacing GT3s, it's kind of the same issue. So yeah, I mean the biggest issue is that probably most of us are used to having either no ABS and therefore just going to the limit of the grip and feeling that, or having ABS systems that are just super OP and you can just go fully onto brake, and the ABS is not just ABSing but is also like, I don't know, improving brake performance and giving you stability control and stuff like that, which was the case in the past in R Factor 2. But I mean, that's the problem that I have. Maybe there are better GT3 systems elsewhere. I even have that Sim 3D rumble motor installed to the brake, and here I can actually feel well the threshold on that. But for ABS, maybe the channel is not working properly, like it's just not sending me the correct info. In RF2 as well, when I'm driving that McLaren 720 for a virtual endurance championship, such a struggle. But my teammate Jesper is nailing it, more often than not. Evening, Arda. Arda, what happened to you yesterday? Not yesterday, on Sunday. Like both at Spa and at Kota. Yeah, Hyper, it's DLC, right? I mean, makes sense. Have to buy the cars to get the free livery upgrade. I mean, we all know that it's kind of just like a deal to respect the contract, right? The contract was to keep stuff updated. They updated it. Used the post maybe to kind of show that RF2 is not fully neglected anymore, but it's not really like not sure if they will gain more than 20 or 30 euros from that work. I mean, probably moments like this would be more easily catched with ABS, but the time loss would still be roughly the same. This is actually such a nice combination to drive. Not sure if it's just the fixed setup on this car being so good. But it is kind of a Porsche track, with traction zones and braking zones and so on. Sadi, I see. Yeah, there is wheel lock, which is nice, or like there is wheel rotation, but like I don't know, the ABS channel in SimHub says that it exists, like there is stuff, but for sure I have to look into it again. I mean, when you're ABSing, the wheels are locking up as well, just a lot less, or like ABS responds to the lockup every, I don't know, what was it, 60 hertz or 1/60th of the second, or was it even slower than that? So if you just calculate the lock with precision and make a very small threshold, it should be possible to still have like feedback through rumble motors and so on. Copy, Arda. Yeah, Spa start was one of the most chaotic things I have experienced. Almost binned it myself already out of the last corner when it went green. Should I have a bit more TC there? 80s max? Oh, I remember now, I did use something like... What was it? 838? 828? Ah, yes. Because they have recalculated the values for GT3s. I think 8, like 738 should work. Yeah, that's much more pleasant on the exits now. The P2 is catching. And that's even too aggressive. Let's try 728. Whoopsie. Yeah, that's quite nice on the exits now. Maybe ABS or a brake bias should go a bit forward as well. 818 on the... yeah, I mean, cut can be very low. Tire temps are fine because this is the GTE and the tire is kind of working well. Or like it's not broken. I really don't know what's so broken on the GT3 instead of GTE. Like GTE works fine. The GT3 is just all over the place. Just feels so good to brake with this car, like it... I don't know. Maybe I'm just using the ABS setting in GT3s way too high and leaning onto it. Maybe I should just be using like 2 or 3 instead of 7, 9, 11. I mean, the Mustang at Monza before, it was getting like shaken left to right a little bit, even though I was on 7. I mean, I think Porsche, the worst track for the Porsche GT3 is Le Mans. On the straights, the rear is ballooning like crazy. Ah, P2 had a problem, I see. Well then. Yeah, I suppose the power cut one works well, like if you are happy to be very careful with throttle, to just like let you know at what point you are going above the limit. But I think it's really efficient. Like if you put it to max and go first gear and floor it out of hairpin, you're not really going to lose much. So on hypercars I like it, like 5 or 6 cut. These clouds are looking really good, I think. Like they just appeared from somewhere. And they're looking pretty ominous, like... It does feel like it could start to rain soon. Even though the race is about to finish and on the forecast there is no rain. But there is no that problem remaining from R Factor 2 where the scenery or like the lighting and the exposure was just shifting like crazy when clouds were going and disappearing. Really good they have fixed that. I think they even fixed that spa problem in LMU when the lighting was like flashing for 10 seconds when you joined the server. And then some corners were sometimes having like a green hue as if there was some algae growing. Or is it algae? You know, the green stuff. Lior... Ah, so the P5 guy, you mean? I was never really looking at Euro NASCAR, so I don't really know who races there, but that's nice, good to know. Thank you for the info. Yeah, I mean, Charlie, I kind of assume that the TC is just way more aggressive on hypercars anyway. So like, it cuts way more... like, it's kind of percentage, maybe? So like, at 10 it would cut, I don't know... I mean, it's not really 10%, it cuts way more than 10%. Maybe at 10 it cuts 30% of the whole power. And here it cuts kind of 30% on max value as well, but because it's weaker car, it's just cutting less, I don't know. I assume it's calculated according to the like usage window. Well, this was a nice race. First 2 laps were quite chaotic, but there was some good battling. And after that I just genuinely enjoyed the balance of the car. Onto the top of the podium. Was I close to the pit wall there? Maybe it was a bit closer than what I anticipated. Let's quickly check. the race start. Yeah, that round thing is sticking out a bit, but okay, there was space. Anyway, for the race start, will you move? Will you not move? We are still standing. So I wake up when it's already far into the green. It's really good to be on the inside, right? Unless there is somebody behind that brakes way too late and crashes you off. I even managed to let the space, and then I turned in and prayed that he's gonna hit the apex. What is this? Mr. 50. And I took out the bollard. I didn't... How didn't I get a cut? In this corner, I feel like it's so easy to get a cut. I mean, I was not beyond the white limit, so... This was close. And then I really expected the other Porsche to go for the apex. He went for the apex. Luckily I didn't have the grip to fully turn in. And then I was like, well, he's gonna dive me. But he lifted. Well, the left side is not rubbered, so easy to lock up. And then I did a mistake, right? And he went for the unexpected move, and I just let him go. Made a kind of a switchback around the outside. He didn't cover. And they just all went for a different layout of the track. And that was it. Wait, what happened with Angel then? We have 5 more minutes for the next round, so lock up into a straightforward overtake. Nice drift. But there was another moment, right? Where is the button? Okay. But let me find the timing. Well, not really. He was just... Maybe here? He lost a lot of time. Okay. That was just way too late of a breaking point. Maybe he would have appreciated the ABS in this situation. I don't know. Anyway, let's appreciate some DR gain. Hello, Carlos. Plus 2.4. Ooh. In beginner. That's surprising. Tariq, where... you ended... I mean, you finished, right? It's really pleasant, like this combination, the GTE, the Porsche. It's good on the brakes, good on traction. Quite stable. So, online daily LMGT3 fixed, and so since this is a BMW Cup, let's indeed register with a BMW. And now I'm gonna get absolutely obliterated by Michel and Erkan. So Did the devs fix the black screen? I have not gotten a black screen yet. Well, Arda, I have taken the glorious V8 1 hour ago, and I don't know. I kind of want to double check if the Ford is really slower than the BMW. Like it's kind of thereabout. It's a good race between them. Maybe in the previous race the BMW drivers were just better. But yeah, let's see. Yeah, the BOP, I mean, BOP will be fixed through the weeks that are following. It's hard to fix now that, like, Porsche is still broken. It's going 1 second per lap faster until it switches from GT1 to GT4 class, and then it's slow, and then it destroys itself in the long run, so... And the leaderboard is kind of funny, right? With the Ferrari quite far behind. What is any other car makes? Okay, an Aston, a Corvette. So many BMWs, but I guess people eventually figure out what's the better car, so they just take it. But I mean, BOP will eventually come. Too easy to drive. I mean, let's see now. So I did, what was it? Let me check. Was it this one? 40.3, 0.4, 0.5, 0.4, 0.2. I mean, yeah, it's low 40s in every lap on clean track. I think I did 40.2 in Quali as well. So now let's see if I can maybe make a 39.9 or something like that. The Mustang is really good on fixed as well. It's really well balanced. I mean, it's just a bit heavy. It's the worst when you go for like a bit of a rear slide to make more rotation on the exit, and then it just goes into a four-wheel drift. Is it already starting? Not yet clickable. I mean, I guess the point of that BMW is like it was made to be easy to drive and approachable, I imagine, like not just for LMU, but just as an actual car. Yeah, the Ford logo. I mean, it's hard to fix it. Like it's squeezed in like vertically so it fits, but if you fit it longitudinally or like left to right, then it's gonna be vertically more squeezed. Probably at this stage when BOP is not that well known or well set, maybe they should be making like a one make. I mean that McLaren and... Why are you turning off? V8 challenge like McLaren and Mustang around Sebring was a good one. So maybe here they could make it like just, I don't know, Ferrari and Corvette or something. Actually, the TC on BMW can be really low. Like 424. The Aston, I don't know. Eventually it's gonna be BOP'd, but they just don't like to make a good BOP to an Aston in this game. The last time Aston was made fast by Studio 397, what was it, 2018, when GT3s were launched. Then Aston was the best car, felt the best as well. And then some BOP came and some physics improvements, and after that it's never been great in any shape or form. This car takes those sausages so much nicer than the Mustang. Is it Mustang or is it Mustang or is it something in between? I don't know how to pronounce these names. Anyway. How do the devs figure? I think the devs figure it out with, well, either themselves, because they have a couple of esports fast guys doing stuff, but then they also have the cooperation with CDA. What is that exactly? Coach Dave something, or is DA already from Dave? Or is it Coach Dave Academy? I think they are working with them, so they will get data from them as well about BOP. Yeah, I don't think Aston can be really made to be fast even if you go full crazy into the setup. $39 splits. Yeah, that's solid 780 people. I don't know what to do with ABS. Now after that Porsche race I just want to put it off, but not gonna end well. I don't know, 6 maybe. But I mean, it's a really nice car. Some people like it more, some people like it less, but supposedly it's a 50-50 weight distribution, so it feels really well balanced, and I really love the handling of it. So yeah, it for sure feels really good around Sebring, like last sector especially. No big lack of front or no rear drama or so on. But just overall it doesn't have peak performance anywhere. Man, I'm thinking of onion and garlic because I have eaten what is it called? Like, it was a wrap with those. It's like a salad with parsley, like tabbouleh or something like that. Like parsley and garlic, onions, and like it's really strong. And then like it was a falafel wrap with that salad. It was so good. But now all I can smell is just garlic and onion. Luckily only sound goes through the microphone. ABS 11 brake bias 43, what? I mean, I can try. For lap 1. Or am I gonna die? Am I gonna die in the first corner? I mean, let's see. What? Is this how it's supposed to be? I mean, this is really good, right? Okay, interesting. It just goes into the corner. ABS is complaining in the background, but it's okay. Interesting. even feels like I could use less ABS, but I mean, it's not really 40-free, right? It's like that's just in the car. Like in the physics, if you have 50-50, you actually have like 60-40 or something. There is some offset, kind of. Well, thank you, Mark. Let's see if I can actually make some pace with this. Straight to... Okay. Copy. I wonder what Mustang would do on these settings, but basically I have already gone faster than in my Mustang Quali lap or Quali session. Oh, that's a big temperature difference front to left. That's because of ABS, right? Like going heavy into ABS is really messing up with tire temps. Don't try lower ABS. Copy. Hyper, I don't think so. Because it's not really a system to... Like, it's not just overall racing system, it's just a system for rating that helps the actual race control official races put people in correct splits. 39.9. 3/10 of P1. Well, need to go more aggressive into corners, I suppose. Not like that. I mean... So most of corners, most of braking zones are... I'm thinking like what's causing this big temperature difference, like right side tires are cold. One day the devs will maybe implement tires that actually grain like crazy if you do this. But till then, we're heating up. We'll just about make it for an extra lap. But yeah, Jan, it seems like, to me I'm already 3/10 quicker with BMW. What? Well then. I guess that's the issue when you load the front left. But that was that a combination between ABS and front left? It is going quite hot, so yeah, flicking it through the chicane or like through a scary like this works. Like the rear kind of struggles a bit, but it grips well, and that avoids loading the front. Just have, yeah. I mean that's the theme with these new GT3 tires, right? As David Perel on his YouTube video suggested as well, the front is a bit too weak, but the rear still produces a bit too much grip. So if you have good enough feeling, well, he said the top of the top can abuse it, but I think like half of people can abuse it. 12 laps, copy. I mean, in Mustang, I think I had 42, so I guess here it's like 38. I don't even know what the fuel usage was. 2.8. Still have a minute. Is that right? $2.8 per lap. Wow, that's a lot less than the Mustang. I hope I'm not wrong in something. Anyway, 36 should be more than enough, and I can even make extra lap if I need to. Well, I think in the first lap we lose so much of time anyway that the leader just cannot actually make an extra lap. So it has to be 12. Well then, brake bias all the way to the rear. It feels weird to some extent, but it actually works. I hope P3 doesn't have a great launch. I need a tow. Nice side draft. Nice inside line. A nice cutting of the corner. Okay, well, we're now into the lead. Adam had such a poor start. Think he should he have waited on the inside line? Yeah, there is side draft for sure. There is all kind of aero effects. If you're just driving 1/10 behind somebody else, you're giving him aero push. Pretty noticeable on Le Mans. He gets more top speed even if you're not bump drafting. Side draft is quite apparent. I mean, it's not super powerful, but you can feel it. Adam really fell down the order. I mean, that's relatable. I kind of messed up lap 1 in the previous Monza race and I just kept getting harassed from the rear. Well, slipstream, maybe, but it has been increased for the last, or was it even for the December patch? At some point it was increased quite a bit. But then remember that these GT3s are LM GT3s, so they have just all around less power and are just going slower, so it will be less apparent than if you're going to 180. I mean, here actually we are going to 180 almost, so but this feels exactly like I have expected compared to Mustang. Kind of same quick on the straights, but just more pleasant in the corners. And now with these ABS hacks, even the braking zones are pretty good. And that's a fair point, Christos. To some extent it cancels out, right? If you have more power, you go faster, you create a bigger hole in the air, so there is more slipstream. But if you're going slower, you're just for a longer time in the slipstream. I would need to make some equations and do some physics. This DC is so aggressive. How low can I go? Well, Mustang is... It feels like this should work in the Mustang, to be honest. Because what I was getting was pretty good entry rotation. It was just like... ABS was either kicking on the front or like the rear was stepping out a bit. But like at Spa, when I was doing a setup for Mustang, I had to go even more forward on ABS 9. Because otherwise I was getting rear snaps. But yeah, with ABS 11, it should fix those snaps, and then if you have it all the way to the rear, then the front stops overheating. It just makes a lot of sense. But it kind of is an exploit that shouldn't really be possible, right? I mean, after this there is the WEC Experience Intermediate race at Spa. And I was thinking, should I just take the Mustang again? And see if I can win on fixed setup with it, because I couldn't on Sunday with open setup. I mean, I could, but I didn't. I kind of thought I should maybe drive a hypercar, but now I'm tempted to just take the Mustang and try this ABS thing. This is just so pleasant to drive, really like well balanced and not too understeery. ABS kicks in, but it's not too bad. These green, yellow, purple sectors always remind me of some ice cream. Like apple, vanilla, strawberry. Just looks so tasty. I mean, you still have to lift off the brake pedal. You cannot just go into the apex with this. You have to lift. But the transition is easier. I really didn't expect to be running into the distance here. Like the way that Adam actually had 3/10 pace on me in Quali made me think that it's gonna be a heavy fight. But I got the better run through the start procedure. TC still feels like it's maxed out. Let's try 111. But Carlos, maybe. Because the rears are less sensitive to load. But not sure if that's just lateral load or all kinds of loads. But it's as well interesting because it means that the problem of ABS is not really the rear, it's just the front. And that actually works with what I see in Motec, because when you're braking and ABS is kicking in a lot, only the front temps are spiking. Even if the car kind of feels rear limited. And the rear kind of wants to step out. I mean, there should be like a couple of minutes after this race, so maybe I'll just quickly open Motec and see what is happening with temperatures as I brake for the alternate turn 1. Adam just doesn't have the pace now. 40.5 previous lap. I thought he would just instantly overtake everyone and start hunting me, but okay, well. It feels good to just have a bit of a buffer behind every now and then. You know what? TC off. Please don't crash. But it feels like it's restricting me on exits. So this should be now, like, TC should be completely off. It's understeering so much on the exits that it just doesn't matter what the TC setting is. Even with ABS off, it's still... No, sorry. I'm not talking ABS, I was thinking of TC. Even if TC is completely off, it still feels like the TC is on. What a good car, I mean, that's a lovely car. Lovely design. or maybe underpowered. Yeah, Charlie, yeah, that makes sense. That makes a lot of sense. Oh, okay. Yeah, that's the only place on track where DC off produces a problem. For the sake of safety, let's put it to 1. Well, I would like a bit more downforce still on the front, or less on the rear. Wing 0, does it go lower? Wait, can I... It's not adjustable. I guess 0 is minimum, although some cars go -2 and -4. Well, Mark, what can I say? Some of them took the wrong car. The Aston is in P7, doing a very good job. But I mean, Mark, also shout out to you for letting me know about the ABS. Guess I should just take the Mustang now for Spa and see what happens. It's a 40-minute race. So abandon, so 50 Newton meters, I think should be enough, right? Yeah, it should be. I'm running like 17 or 18 Newton meters now, and this Porsche wheel rim is actually quite heavy. Although remember, it's not so much about weight, but also it's about where the weight is centered. Because if it's about the rotation inertia, as it's much more difficult to spin the heavy mass if it's like further, you know. This Porsche wheel rim is actually really heavy. Not sure if it's quite 2 kilos, but it feels like all the mass is in the center, so like the peripheral stuff like the handles are quite light. But yeah, I use like, what is it, 40 to 50% FFB in-game with 17 Newton meters. And I mean, you don't need more. Orange cut for what? Well, I'm not gonna play with orange cuts. So yeah, indeed, like even in Motec when I check for force feedback clipping, I mean, you can see it here in the, if it's not hidden conveniently in the HUD, I guess, wait, if I do this, yeah, the FFB is just about hidden, right? But it's never clipping. It's always far away from clipping, so I think 50 Newton meters should be more than enough. But I know some people like very heavy FFB. I kind of would like a slightly heavier FFB as well. I mean, the wheel can produce it, but the thing is that I drive so much that my wrists wouldn't last, so I got told to rather steadily decrease the FFB. If I want to keep esporting for more years to come. But then at the same time my wrists are not really the thickest ones on the wrist thickness spectrum. Thank you, Abandon. Yeah, I will check Mustang. I just hope that the default setup is not too bad on Spa. At least I have had good practice, so I shouldn't be too much of pace. Nacionalna klasa. Moral bi preveriti v Steamu, koliko ur imam že. But well, the question is about how much experience I have in LMU. I will check the hours, but it's not just about LMU, it's also about F1 Challenge and Air Factor 1 and Air Factor 2, and overall, I mean, I don't know, I guess it would be like 15,000 hours all together, all 4 sims, from 2005 to 2025. Even if some years in that time span were driven on keyboard and joystick and uh-oh. That's a Mustang that it's not going straight. Please don't spin into me. Thank you. Oof. I got collected so many times in the past. Oh, track limiting now. Anyway, it's the last lap. Ni problema. Well then, it's a BMW Cup. If you want to win or do well, take the BMW around here. I mean, maybe some other car, like Corvette for sure is not good, but maybe I don't see why Ferrari would not be good. I mean, it depends again on the default setup or on the fixed setup where the rear wing is. Alright, just gonna quickly watch the start and then register for the intermediate. Let's see what I have done correctly here that I have not done in the previous one. I mean, first I qualified on the front row, which is convenient. Just had the overspeed. With overspeed and with a bit of side draft, I came through. And then I had the inside for Curva Grande. I think he should have defended the right. And it's difficult, right? Then we would be here side by side and he would be on the outside. At least he would be further than he was here. Did I move under brakes? I moved just before I broke, I moved. Slightly unsafe potentially. And then Mr. Lucas. But yeah, that ABS, you know, I mean, I don't know. It's like if it worked better, he would have actually somewhat made the corner. Tariq, you had a tough one, right? Yeah, that's what happened to me in the previous one. I kind of tried to battle for P2 and then even lost P4. And then I got attacked for P5, but I just about managed to defend. And then when you're in this position, when the car ahead has a draft, it's so difficult to get through. Anyway, let's see what the rating says. As I slowly climb towards gold 2 for I don't know which time already. Lost it like 3 times. Plus 2.5. Okay. Skip back to online. That back to online button should be always available. And then we go to WEC experience. And see Mabix in the Porsche. And Alexa in the Porsche. Alex in BMW. I mean, that should be a fun one. Yeah, let's take the Ford. Because why not? And let's join the practice for these 5 minutes and check how the ABS. So what do we have here then? So ABS and then brake bias max to rear. We have 6 rear wing. And that's gonna be a bit more stable than what I had on Sunday. Which is nice. Ah, it's fuel times 2, I have to remember. Is it the endurance pit lane? I think it is. Arda, I'm thinking of it. I'm not doing it on Wednesday. I think it's Wednesday. Ow. Yeah, that corner on cold tires is funny. Wednesday, Friday, Saturday, right? On Sunday I have the final of VMS Pro. So... But there is no weekly on Sunday. Is it on Sunday as well? No, I think it's Wednesday, Friday, Sunday. I think I could do it on Friday. I might do it. Maybe I'm like 60-40 at the moment. Frame rate is 120, 130, 110. Feels a bit stuttery. Although that's, I guess, I mean it's practice server, so people are joining. And there is always a bit of server instability when people are joining. Ah, that was not just a little bit of server instability. Oh dear. Yeah, that's something on to-do list for sure. They've been fixing the join lags for like 5 years. They fixed them 3 times. They actually became better, but sometimes they are still bad. Yeah, the rain in the middle of the race. Gonna be fun. It's Monza as well, right? Monza without the chicane for the weekly. Oh, what is this now? Like, thought they have fixed it. The FFB just disappeared. I guess I will have to send some logs to the devs after this. Although they have so many of them already. Yeah, Monza no chicane. I was thinking of some LMH. LMDH actually. Although the Peugeot, you know, the old one without the rear wing, feels like a solid choice for that. Or alternatively, since I'm already trying out the Mustang a little bit more, I could just try minimum downforce on it and just be absolutely flying. And on open set, BMWs will be screwed, right? They will not have any top speed. I can, like, that was on Monza, it was Mustang on, when I drove it, it was on like 4, I think it's in the fixed, it's 4 wing, and it goes down to -4 or -2. But BMW cannot go much lower probably, so could be fun. McLaren and Ferrari Cup with open set, but copy. Let's see, let's see. Guys, we have broken ABS. This feels incredible, like, why does this work? I mean, we have figured out the reasons for why it's working, but like max rearwards and then max ABS, and it's just so pleasant to brake. I mean, I'm happy. If it's like this, then suddenly a lot of my ABSing problems disappear. Look at that, just glides into this apex, where I struggled quite hard on Sunday. And it still allows a bit of rear rotation. It doesn't really prevent the rears from locking up a little bit. So that's interesting. Anyway. And yeah, one minute to start. Indeed, conveniently the server threw me out. That's already one step towards the automatic switch between servers that happens on iRacing, right? If it just throws you out in the correct point, and you just have to click one join button, then it's already the same workflow as it is in iRacing, because in iRacing it starts saying you to click race to join the race server. So yeah, just one click and nice drift there. Actually, what to do here? We only have mediums and wets, but hypercars have softs as well for Spa. I mean, I don't need to know what tires the hypercars are on, so... So right, this is fuel times 2. I have to keep saying that because I have forgotten about it so many times already. Carlos, that's something I mean about brake bias. Brake bias and ABS, I thought of it when we first had to actually optimize GT Freeze for ABS in RF2. I was like, well, if you put the brake bias to the rear, then the rears will be the first to lock up. But then the ABS is only working on the rears, so actually the front will be suddenly more overpowered than the rear. Like if ABS is not fully effective, then effectively with ABS restricting only rears, then you could suddenly be having understeer issues, right? But it... Or like the other way around, put ABS fully to the front. You should be locking up, but if ABS works well and restricts the front a lot, then suddenly maybe the rear could be overpowering the front. But it clearly doesn't really work like that. It's just so confusing overall, but I mean this works. Maximum to rear, full ABS, send it. Maybe it's gonna get patched at some point. Or maybe this is how it works in real life, but the teams don't want to tell. Yeah, softs work at night or like in damp, slightly damp conditions. But sometimes, like at Le Mans, in 40 Celsius track temp, mediums are probably quicker than softs, for quali even. Okay, why did it request a pit stop now? Ah, okay, I see. Yeah, the tiny pedal overlay is still calculating as if I have normal fuel usage, but I did use 8.7-ish per lap. But this default setup is good as well. I'm pleasantly surprised. Like it's stable and safe, but it still allows you to play with the rear slip. So it was 8.7 per lap. Where is my... Ah, it's gone. Okay. Car. 10 minutes, 5 laps, 9.545, a bit less. No, that's... wait, it's... calculate on virtual energy. Right. What's going on? What is going on, guys? I cannot escape. Let me quickly... Concai opravilo. Let me quickly restart the game. Was that like a preview for a spectator mode or what? I mean, I should be able to rejoin until the end of quali, but I would like to make a quali lap, and I would like to warm up my tires before I do a quali lap. Come on. Join. I don't know what I clicked. Well, please work, game. Would be very appreciated. Well, I mean, luckily it's 10-minute quali session, but okay. Well, then let me go quickly back. Ah, yeah, the environment is flashing again. I just praise it that it's not flashing, but it's happening again. Anyway. Think we are safe. Kind of. But that's for sure a trace or a log that will have to be sent to the devs. Have not had that before. Why is the brake bias reverted? Like, I have to go... Yeah, like, on everything I have to rotate it forward to increase. But on brake bias, I have to go backwards to go forward. Funny. Yeah, I don't know, like, yeah, the mouse cursor disappeared, which does happen sometimes, but shouldn't really be happening. Ah, now I don't have G-Sync anymore. Ah, whatever. So the thing is that, well, with the del button, or like the delete button, actually I have it del. If I click del, because it's assigned to that button, the mouse appears and disappears. But for some reason I went into the spectator mode even though it's not really available yet, right? Or is it available? I don't think it is. I mean, I couldn't escape out of it. So weird. Anyway, it's a bit of a problem because the tires take a bit longer to warm up here. I would have appreciated the full 5 laps. Should just about get the 3 attempts, so that's good. This ABS is a proper cheat code. Well, it doesn't save me from having a slide in high speed. Well, Dante, it's the fixed setup, so it's not like it's safe setup. It has more rear wing and it's just more stable. And then with this ABS, it feels like a proper rocket ship. Even the tires are more balanced temperature-wise. Makes sense, right? Because if you're pushing the ABS, then the front is just getting overheated. But now with brake bias all the way to the rear and with maximum ABS, slowing a bit, I have not seen that message for a long time. Yeah, with those ABS settings now, the rears just get more temperature, which is great. No purple sectors yet, but I have Porsches ahead who are a proper Quali car. P2 actually, wow. And I have another attempt. Yeah, that was still a bit too hard into ABS, but exit is good. Actually, what is the track? Medium grip. It's actually really good. So on saturated I can do like 18.0 on my open setup. There is a rotation. No cut, lucky. I can feel front left overheating a bit as well. I shifted too early. Ay, 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 ay. That was messy. But the pace was there for P1, which is crazy. I mean, I'm gonna take P2 with a fourth against Porsches any day. That's really good for race then. I mean, I still hope they don't pull like 1 second per lap gap from the start. So actually, strategy. What is the strategy? Like 40 times 60 and then it's minus 93 for a full pit stop. And then it's 2 minutes 20. And with 17 laps. So I have to add energy for 7. I don't think it will make sense to lift and coast for extra lap, to be honest, but let's see. How much time? 45. Okay. I hope it's gonna be a bit less dramatic than yesterday on the race start. At least there is no LMP2s. Those LMP2s are always making every race a bit of a clown show. But it's very entertaining until you get collected. Anyway. So, should be 7. Oh, that guy appeared quite late ahead of me. I've heard there is like a hard limit of speed above which you instantly get a drive-through for whole start, but not sure what exactly it is. Anyway, green very soon. Porsche traction. Ooh. Okay. Since I survived, I happily take that bump from behind. Into P1. And now, if it's anything like on Sunday, I have quite a big of a top speed advantage. It's just so inevitable, like if two cars ahead are having a battle and you try to profit on that, you will 100% get a bump from behind. Excuse me. So top speed moment of truth. Oh, I have a bar body. I don't want that. Well, the Porsche has the brakes. Ah, he's gaining in the tow. That's a problem. Because he's faster in the corners. And fuel times 2 means that fuel saving is quite powerful, even if you don't make it extra lap. Thinking, how long did it take on Sunday the, who was it, Bessier in the Porsche to drop off the lap times? It's for sure like half of stint. On this pace we're almost going to go for a lap less. It's one way of avoiding giving a tow. Five to 6 laps. Copy, copy. Mavic MP3 is saving up the energy a bit better. He's going for the dive. Ah, copy. Do I have enough of overspeed? He is gonna die, won't me? It's difficult, like he has more pace, but then Mapix behind is fuel saving, so... Actually, I miscalculated, it's gonna be 17 for sure, because I took 93 seconds for pit stop, but that's like a full pit stop and we are not gonna do a full. Well, I don't quite like seeing that gap opening up now. You know what? value my fuel a lot. So it's lap 6 now, so at which point do I suddenly get more grip? Would like that to happen now. There we go. First dive, straight into Eau Rouge. Beautiful. He saw time P1. Ah, P2. That's interesting. Of course. You know, why always me syndrome? But it actually, like, it is like that. The others just get better traffic. I don't know. I took the chance to fuel save a bit, but lost like a second. I don't know. Could be worse. I wish the tires were ×2 as well. But Porsche OP for now. But I think, like in the first part of the previous lap, or this lap, I gained a little bit to Mavic's MP2. Until I got destroyed by traffic again. Although, yeah, well, he did 20.49 and my best is 20.9 at this point. About Aston, I don't know. Like, I think this is the last race for me today. I would think that most of the cars should work with these settings, to be honest. Just about hanging on now. So it will be... It will be 7 more, right? It will be 6 more. Does anybody know? Like, the overlay is saying fuel for 6. I think you will get... Yeah, I have to add the extra lap, right? Just in case, but... Well, I'm adding 7. Should be 6. Yeah, I mean, should be, but with multi-class you just never know. Like, it depends when it goes to... I will probably overfuel by a lap, but I don't want to be risking anything, although 10% here is like... Should have calculated in advance, but... Anyway. Let's see what others do. Why am I getting rotated? So Polesny added same as me. Mabix probably took less. And he had more energy remaining anyway. Yeah, Mabix has 65%, we have 69, 70. Actually, Mabix went like middle. In case it's extra lap, he can fuel save a bit. Good call from him. My steering ratio is default, like vehicle set. Oh, that's a big gap to the leader. Well, at least on the outlap I have pace. But the fronts are about to overheat anyway. Millimoles is for my type 1 diabetes. It's a sensor measuring my blood sugar. And just recently I have received a plugin for SimHub, so I can actually display data the data to myself live, so I don't have to check for my phone all the time, and it's really good and useful. I'm cooking my fronts. Not great. Oh, Vojta ahead is doing the Porsche things. I just don't have much time. It's gonna be like 5 more laps, right? We are all going deep. Yeah, the Porsche is broken. I tried it at Bahrain once. I don't want to touch it ever again, at least until it gets patched or something happens with the tire model. Yeah, with the Porsche it's like you're rotating by the rear. The front doesn't really exist. And that shouldn't be the case on a GT3 car. Not even on the Porsche Cup car. Yeah, it will be at least 5 more laps. So Mabix is in a bit of a trouble. He has to fuel save. So actually, that number is trolling a little bit there. Like it's not 13, it's like 12 point something out of 8. Or no, what? I don't know. I would need to calculate again. I liked it in the RF2 HUD. It always showed the lap count with a decimal, so you always knew what it is trying to show you. I'm really melting the fronts. The only solution is to induce rear sliding. But I'm losing performers for sure. 100 Celsius. I mean, it depends on the hypercar where they finish, right? What if we all have to do a splash and dash in the end? Four to go, okay. Mabix is in a bit of a trouble, but 2% is not too hard to save, to be honest. Compared to 39 of Vojta. I don't know, I'm still waiting for the Porsche tires to fully die. mean, I would love some trouble at this point. Oof. Do that ahead of the Porsches, the GT3s, not ahead of me. Dive bomb, come on. He stays behind. What the... Like, he backed out, and just after I turned in, he tried to go for it again, I think. Well, it ended up well, so... Dive into Blanchimont, let's go. Don't think Vojta lost much time. Maybe I will need the track map. So now the leader absolutely must cross the line before it goes like 2 minutes. I mean after 2 minutes to go. Should be the case. Is it? Yeah, I think, yeah. I think we are safe. But it was close for extra lap, for sure. Just hard to tell because the circles with numbers get hidden. Meanwhile, I'm still waiting for my Mustang tires to start outpacing the Porsche tires. They are just too fast, aren't they? Let's see. Maybe Vojta dive bombs Mabix into the last chicane. Or maybe Mabix runs out of virtual energy 300 meters before the line. Would be so nice to have like a message that the leader has taken the checkered flag. Because with this track map it's impossible to say anything. But the only message we get is people leaving the server, so at least that's the final confirmation that it's fine. So Mabix is gonna win it. There we go. No big battle in the end, but I don't know if I could do anything different there, apart from defending like absolute crazy. But if I defended against Vojta, then Mabix would just save more and more, and he would emerge in the lead anyway. And I don't think I could ever catch him. And the tires, yeah, in the end they were just about balanced, I believe. Or probably Porsches were struggling with the rear, but I was struggling with the front still. But anyway, GG Marco, nice win. I hope the Ford gets a bit of positive BOP at some point. I mean, overall it's so hard to BOP these cars, they are just so different. But anyway, yeah, it's not that difficult to save fuel, to be honest. Like those 2% in 7 laps it's not much, especially because it's fuel times 2. It's like 2 times less that you need to save. Yeah, I mean the Ford, yeah, the Ford is good overall, but I mean the Porsche will get a BOP for sure, because overall it's just probably too fast. So let's see after that what happens. Yeah, Carlos, I guess that's the reason. Yeah, Alex is... I guess BMW has rear wing 0 as well on this track. Or maybe has 1 or 2. I'm actually on... I think Mustang goes to 9 or 10. Like this is actually relatively high downforce setup, and it's still going like crazy on straights. Master, I'm from Slovenia. Wing 1. Yeah, so 1 versus 6. And not easy to BOP. Really require a track specific BOP to make this work. Anyway, was good fun pushing against the Porsches, and it's a podium, so I can only be happy with that. And Mabix fans are partying now, so that's fine. Is there anything to check? The start was a bit funny, right? I expected a bit sooner start, but Yeah, I guess it's only 30 cars here, not 60 like for the special event. Monza R5, I don't really have an opinion, to be honest. It's probably good. I didn't hear bad stuff about it, but I have never tried it. So they both have to lift ahead. Yeah, Void had a bit of a moment, right? It was just it's the Porsche thing, right? When you go on power, you're not turning anymore, it's just going straight. He tried not to get too big of a cut. Marco had a bit of a wobble. And then... bonk. That's one way to set up an avatar. Much appreciated. But that was a bit on the edge. That was close as well there. Oof. Was that illegal overtake? Or why, Alex, why did you lift? Yeah, you had to lift, right? Yeah. Yeah, it's just like, if you see the car on the left kind of snapping, you try to stay safe, but then it gives you the illegal overtake. What happened behind? Oof. Ah, yeah, you are not saving that ever. It's always such a difficult decision how much to lift before the compression and how much speed to carry. Did he... Ah, that was a big hit and the rear wing was gone. I cannot stop looking at it, it's so... so intriguing. Anyway, was a nice bit of racing for sure. So what did you do? What did we do today? P4, P1, P1, P3. I can be very happy with that. Skip even gained a bit of DR, which is nice. Yeah, those slow down penalties, I mean, it's not slow down penalty, it's illegal overtake. And it's just... like, it's not a cut, you wouldn't get a cut with that. You would get a green cut warning that would stay green, or maybe it would be yellow that turns green. It was not really high speed. But it's always extremely strict when it comes to overtakes, and it's not like that in real life. Like, they don't judge it that strictly always, except for some corners, I imagine. Yeah, Charlie, I see. Is that a bug? Why does Alexei has Slovenian flag? Or has Alexei moved to Slovenia for some reason? Or is there a bug in the back end mixing up the nationalities again? Oh dear. Drift and understeer simulator. Yeah, that's the Porsche GT3 experience. I'm not touching that car until it gets fixed somehow. I don't like Porsches overall in any sim, but this is just extreme case of it. Anyway, guys, that's been some racing for today. One last thing, I want to check what exactly is the weekly format. I might do that on Friday. That's surely gonna be fun. A rain in the middle. 2-hour race. Realistic fuel. Nah, that should be fun. 2 hours, that's 3 stints, right? And then for the second stint, do you fuel safe until rain comes and then put wets, or do you just push and gamble? Could be interesting strategically. Anyway, that's it for now. Let me click that beautiful back to main menu button again now that we have it. Can I get rid of this somehow? Probably cannot. Until next time, have a good evening, good night, enjoy the second half of the week, and see you next time. Bye bye.